Yeah, so this is it. I'm not going to touch Tekken anymore at all. I'm not going to make any content about it. I'm not going to do anything that is involving the game until a specific time has arrived where most of the issues that I am currently facing and I'm frustrated about are being addressed, and also possibly things that are outside of the issues that I am facing are also being addressed in terms of the community. I'm not going to touch it because of the behavior of the developers and or the publishers or whatever you want to blame it for, really, right? It's also a weird state, I would say. For those of you who don't know, the modding community is now being essentially copyright struck for mod showcases and or distributing them on YouTube, which has already led to a channel termination that will follow in April for someone called Ullman, I believe. And this is just something that I genuinely do not know how to feel about, honestly speaking. My stance on this is that whoever is responsible for this is going after the community that is depending on these kinds of things in terms of their livelihood, and also just expressing their love in general for the game and the franchise that they provide. And I will honestly say that I'm going to reel back my last video that I did where I apologized for my behavior previously. I'm going to take that back fully. I made Low Tier God also look like a clown, and honestly speaking, the jokes is just on me, right? In the end, the joke is on me, so we'll just remove the clown makeup from him and put it on me, because I am the biggest clown at the moment here. I was under the genuine impression that things would turn out for the better, but they have not. It just turned out worse. And I don't want to rage bait, I don't want to anything. I genuinely am just so fed up and so tired with these antics, and I am hoping to everything that everything will become better at some point, right? I don't want to hate on the game, but this is just not it for me. I am so fed up with it. I genuinely do not want to play this game at this very moment. I don't want to support Bandai Namco. I don't want to support the Tekken team. None of it. None of it. I'm so fed up. We just came out of the Tekken talk. I've been letting this sit for a little while. I've been discussing it with people over Discord, essentially just trading some of our opinions regarding the current state of affairs, and also just what exactly is going to happen in the future, or some kind of predictions. And all of that aside, I'm just sitting here. I have made a little summary of the negatives that we have from the Tekken talk itself that I want to quickly address, and then I want to follow up with an announcement that I have kind of already done at the beginning, but I want to follow up on that and also just expand on that. And I want to express as to the future plans that I have for this channel in particular. With the Tekken talk, there has been now announced a battle pass. I am so fed up with battle passes in this gaming industry at this point, especially in games that already aren't free to play. I have literally paid a 70 euro entry fee for this game to be enjoyed. Why the fuck do we have a Tekken shop and now a fucking battle pass being implemented in here, which by the way weren't even announced or even talked about before the public release of the game? Why are we glorifying this? Why are we saying yes, this is how we're going to support the game, this is how we're going to financially pump more fundamentals and material into the game that we love? Yes, I think this is great. Which, by the way, people that have bought the deluxe editions and whatever special editions are out there outside of the base edition, they don't even get a free premium battle pass to begin with. They don't even get free Tekken shop currency, right? And it's just mind-boggling to me. So all you have been basically pitching towards these games is essentially that they will get a season battle pass, not a season battle pass, they will get a season pass. I'm getting already just mixed up with all the enunciations. They will get a season pass for new coming DLC characters that are going to be implemented in a seasonal rotation, right? Obviously, people who have pre-ordered the game now or gotten the deluxe edition will now have access to Eddie Gordo earlier than other players, which, by the way, is more than fine with me, right? I think that's fair enough. But how are you not going to award these players that have spent almost $200 or 200 euros or whatever currency you want to put it in that is equivalent in that? How are you not going to award them a free premium battle pass. Diablo 4 has done that, and that is coming from Blizzard's side. And so all it boils down to when it comes to these people that have spent more money in the game is essentially they will get a golden suit, maybe some goodies that are physical or digital, I don't even know. I have the base game. I have only bought the base game, and that is what I'm going to be holding it at, right? I've invested a little bit in microtransactions as well with Jin's and June's outfits, but that's about it. That is the only time that this game will receive a single cent from me, a single penny or whatever. I am no longer going to invest in this financially whatsoever. I'm not going to upload, I'm not going to do anything about it. But before I go completely off rails, let's just continue. With the Battle Pass, you'll also earn Tekken coins back, which, to be fair, some people have already criticized and they've said, what the fuck? Why are we only getting this now? If I've known this beforehand, I would probably just get the Battle Pass. And then with the Tekken coins that I earn, I will just go and buy the costumes that I want. So messed up at this point. And then there's still the issue where people are getting locked out of their cosmetics that they've purchased because either of safe corruptions or whatever. It's still a prevalent thing. People have reported it also with the Uniqlo items that you'll get for free, where they essentially will get into the shop, get it, and then won't have access to it because they, in quotations, haven't purchased it. So what is going on there? Why is the prioritization on the monetization first instead of actually fixing the base game and the product that you have provided? Why do we get balancing patches so slow? Right? Up until now, we've only gotten one major update that has kind of addressed the balancing issues, right? And people are also arguing about the global release of Tekken 8 in comparison to the older franchises, or to the older entries in this franchise, because the older entries had an arcade release beforehand, before they got into home consoles and PCs. And honestly, I don't really see the point in that, because we had the CNTs and the betas before the public release. So it's unfair to say that Tekken 8 didn't have time in the oven, because it did have it. It did have it, it's just not in the public, right? It was a closed off pool. Let's just continue. Let's just continue before I actually lose me. Banned players and cheaters are still running around freely. Now on the Tekken Talk, they have also talked about banning, right? How things are just indefinite and they're not really a slap on the wrist. But then again, it doesn't really solve the problem at the core fundamental itself. Plus, people have also reported that they've gotten no notifications whether or not they're essentially on bad behavior before they're actually getting banned.
Give them a slap on the wrist or ban them just for a week or two. But that's not the case. Some people are banned indefinitely. We hope that people think really closely about this, because it's not just automatically ban them. We have to be very careful, because you're taking away online access for players, which we've seen, not necessarily our company, but there's been examples of people suing because of this. And so we have to make sure that we have the proper evidence, etc., in place before we enact these more severe measures.
And then what's the point of banning people when you're going to pitch pluggers against other pluggers in the first place?
Our system picks them up and then not only displays the disconnect, but matches these kind of people to each other, so that the average player doesn't have to encounter them online. They can play against each other all they want, right? So these kind of measures, and also just to try to alleviate some of the frustration, to make it more easy to understand the penalty for people who are misbehaving, and then also to alleviate the pain on the side who was disconnected from. So, whether that's like if someone disconnects from you and then even your screen kind of like it pauses for a minute while in the background the game is sorting it out, right? To try to alleviate that a little bit more. And so I know it's kind of frustrating that this process we're going through, and people are saying, oh, just do this or just do that. Just keep in mind, it is a P2P game, so for most instances, it is there's ways to kind of detect which side it was that disconnected. But that said, there are kind of loopholes, or we're not going to tell you how this is done, but there are certain instances that make it much more difficult to detect which side actually disconnected. But that said, we're trying to find workarounds for those as well, such as connecting to a server, etc., to listen to try to detect those bad instances as well. So yes, we are working on it, and we appreciate your patience in this matter. So he just mentioned that there's 2 points mainly. The first is the disconnect rate, which we've had since Tekken 7. Many people have probably noticed, but this wasn't being properly displayed to players in the game. Although on the back end it was actually collecting that data, so that part was working. So for the update, we want to make sure that that actually is displayed as intended for everyone, so they have a better choice when accepting the matches, etc. Everyone's going to start off from 0 from the next update. So if you're on good behavior, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're a plugger or disconnector, whatever you want to call it, you will be matched into the plugger purgatory with other like-minded players. So we're gonna, improve those kind of things for the players.
Murray is saying disconnection rates are being displayed properly on the back end, but in public it's not. But then with the new update, they're also going to reset everyone to 0? What? Where is the logic in all of this? Again, potato players, potato PC players are still running around, with no restrictions whatsoever. They're still allowed to play in ranked, even though their systems are shit, they're still allowed to play. And they're not getting banned or any restrictions in that regard. Mary is just saying, oh, you'll need to look into the hardware that you have purchased. Oh, you'll probably just have to report a bug to us.
Right, so some people seem like they're worried if they're gonna be on the ban list because of a crash or some kind of unexpected network trouble. We understand that happens, and it's not like you're gonna be banned for your computer crashing several times. If you're getting a lot of crashes, maybe that's something you need to look into, whether that's your hardware or if you need to report to us that something's wrong with the game. But we're not going to ban you for stuff like that, obviously.
That's it. You're not going to get banned or nothing. Outside of that, there is no mention of the modding situation at the moment. There is no addressing of any kind where they're like, yeah, we're going after the modding community at the moment because of this and that. And this is also the reason as to why this video in particular is coming out this late, because I genuinely was looking forward to whether or not they were actually going to talk about it in any capacity, but apparently not. So you know what? I'm not even going to say anything about the photo mode that hasn't been mentioned, or the team battle mode that hasn't been mentioned, or the costumes that nobody has asked for, because I'm actually just fed up with the game at this point. I am genuinely fed up with this game to such a degree that I don't even want to talk about it. As a matter of fact, people have already said vote with your wallets, right? And some creators that I'm watching have also said, you know what, I'm not going to support it, but when my character is coming out, I'm going to be investing in that, I'm going to get it, I'm going to play the product that I have purchased that I want to enjoy. To that I say, you do you. What I'm going to do, what I'm genuinely going to do, if you want to make a change, you want to force a change that you genuinely think needs to happen for someone to listen to you, to listen what you have to say, you do it properly. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. There we go. I know people are going to say, yeah, you can just install it, reinstall it. What is the point? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm not going to support it. I'm not going to give it any attention at the moment. I am fed up with the game, with the product that has been presented to me, that has been pitched to me, that has been catered towards me. I am fed up with it. I want changes. And the best way I can do, or the best option that I have, is to ignore it. Bandai Namco has gotten my money. Yes. And that's it. That is it. No more. No more. I am fed up with all of this. No more Tekken content until changes are happening. Changes that I genuinely want to happen. Changes that will benefit the community and not actually go against it and combat it. Changes that will benefit everyone and not be like, oh, guess what? Here's some more content that we're going to drip feed you. All you'll need to do is give us some more money. Pay up. No. This is genuinely it for no more Tekken content. And I encourage everyone else that is watching this video to do the same. Obviously the choice is yours at the end of the day, but I encourage you genuinely, if you want changes, you do it properly. You don't give this company or the developers any attention anymore. You give them the middle finger, and that's about it. And with that being said, like I mentioned, I'm only waiting for the new Elden Ring DLC that is coming out soon. And I'm also working on a Need for Speed video at the moment. So if you're actually looking forward to that, stick around. It's going to take a while, but I promise you I'm putting all of my effort in there, and I hope you enjoy your day. With that being said, I'll see you later.